My goal here today is, you know, be smart, which I'm not always. Say my fitness is poor. Feeling a little rusty. Got the cobwebs going, so I need this bad. Dicey. All over the place back here. I'm coming in this little narrow area, which is really close to where the lake I'm gonna fish, so I'm really close and I feel really good. It's nice and calm back here. Find a place to camp and just stay out of this moose's way. Made it. A little bit of daylight to spare. I wish I had another half hour. I'd be fishing for sure. You know, I got a second wind there, and there was a pretty tough part in there, but overall, I feel really good right now. You know, when you get this kind of twilight, it's just beautiful out here. In the tent for the night. All right. Morning number one, day number two. Things went pretty well. I slept pretty good last night. Really good, really. Had a hot coffee and hot tea and some hot liquids. I'm probably gonna do a little more of that. I'm fishing close in my little water hole. I do think that there's some monster brook trout in here. This lake just looks perfect. I could see this being a perfect splake lake. Hopefully get some footage of some nice fish. At least some fish. I mean, I'll work hard, so should know if they're around or not. Brook trout fishing, it's fantastic. I had a headache for about a week and it's gone. So a little workout and some good fresh air is all it takes. Should be a decent day here. I mean, the wind's finally calming down, so if the sun comes out, it'd be nice. So anyway, we're just gonna have to see if we can get one of these big brook trout on footage, or at least catch something. I'm about 50-50. It could go either way. It could be great, could get a few smaller fish, or it could be a shutout. But either way, this has been a big time win. Just you know, just a great camp out. So my goal, my big goal is just, you know, was to get a workout and get some fresh air. So mission accomplished. Hot breakfast. Got it? Why not? Once I eat that, get on the move. I have a bunch of fish in the little hole. I haven't fished much or long. on this lake, so trudging around is a lot of work. So I'm not going to be able to have this whole lake, pick and choose. What I'm looking for is a beaver dam. I like big logs hanging over the edge. Ooh, the sun just coming up over that ridge right in my face. Nice. Nice. I think the key to this kind of fishing is just saving as much energy as you can. That being said, bringing the skis was the best thing I've done this trip. It's just, I was tired this morning, and I could feel it. I expected that. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm just going to have to move really methodically and slow just to kind of try to get my strength back. But God, I got on these skis right away, and it was just really almost effortless to move. This auger's cutting pretty good. I'm probably pressing on it harder than I need to. You should just let the auger go. This is a Nils 8-inch auger. It's kind of heavy, so I can tell I'm at the bottom. So this is key, because you never know what is down below. There's rocks, boulders, you know, everywhere. So you want to be careful. So when you go through light, but you also want to make sure you clear the hole, because if you get a fish come up there, you don't want any sharp edges down there. So you just don't want to stick it all the way down there and be slamming around. And as far as saving energy goes, these augers get heavy when they get iced. So some sort of heavy tool, keep them clean as you can, save you a ton of energy. Gotta be careful with these blades. Sometimes they get iced up, you gotta clean them up. So right now, I don't know, I'm optimistic. It's just a beautiful day. Temperatures, no problem. I could be out here like this for days. Sun's out. It's probably 9 in the morning, I suppose, already, and it's way warm. I'm not even working that hard, so A+ day. I moved across the lake more or less. Kind of divide this lake in half. Really like to stick to this half, which is half I'm camping on. You know, despite the skis being way more efficient, it still gets to be a little bit of work. So I see a tree right here in the water. Can't get a great read on it, but it looks pretty big by the look. So I don't know, this is probably as good as anywhere. I'll punch a couple holes around here. Try to find 5 or 7 feet, but it's gorgeous out here. All right, well, at least we're on the board. Beautiful little fish. Little, not what we're totally after, but these elite, you know, I wish if I catch 2 of those little ones, I'll eat them tonight and maybe try to see what happens tomorrow, but we'll see. But these both came in at the same time. 5 feet of water by this tree. Gorgeous day, starting to get kind of cold a little bit. Big one came in and clobbered it. I missed him the first time, mainly because I had one on earlier, didn't feel much bigger, and that rod broke. So that thing's fragile. I'd love to see one of these big. I think the brook trout are in here now, so I think if I wait, I might get a big one. 3 would be best. Snacking a new fishing pole. Oh, I did smartly bring it back up. Old reliable, so it should do the trick. I'm only fishing in about 5 feet of water here. So, you know, if I get a fish, I'm going to feel it, and I'm not going to have a lot of time to react. And I'm fishing next to the trees, so I don't want to lose a big fish in the trees. I think I'm searching for one of the 4-year-old fish that are in here. These fish grow fast. This is probably the biggest brook trout lake, I would say, easily in the Boundary Waters brook trout. So it's kind of hard to figure out, I guess, or the fish could be spread out. I don't know. But I've caught a couple. I'd be satisfied with 5 smaller ones. I'm bringing them all home no matter what. And hopefully I have to cook a couple tonight. There's one. Ooh, that's a nice fish. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. All right. I'll take those any day. Probably about... Oh, it's probably a 16-inch trout. God, look how strong and gorgeous that fish is. Yeah, baby. That was worth it right there. It's a good eating fish. Came in and just clobbered it. Tough getting out of the hole too. All right. So yeah, basically what I wanted to do here is just show you really how not difficult it is to come in and, you know, do some work, get in here, camp, especially if you have a friend or two. You know, maybe you can build a fire, something like that. It really, you just get used to it so quickly. Of course, there's always times when it's real cold, and there's always times when you're real tired. So fishing this kind of way is all about efficiency. All right, adios to this cold camp. Didn't take long. Got one kind of nicely browned. Poached in butter. We're done. Keep it simple. Poached in butter and wild rice. Let's try this fish. I mean, that looks good. Brook trout and char, or splake, are so delicious. Stuff's really good. It's chore time. Broke down the auger, pack that. Fishing sled. Gotta love the moose and you gotta love the loons. You hate the mosquitoes, that's why you're out here right now. Plus it's winter, and winter in Minnesota is awesome. Close to 7 o'clock. Always in your sleeping bag, especially if things are a little damp. Everything goes in the bag that you're going to wear the next morning. I had to organize this. Try to capture this. Wow, it's warm. Not even just by the fire, but it's just warm today. I bet you it's at least 15 degrees to wake up, so maybe a little breezy. Almost too warm. Not really for traveling, but just snow conditions. I don't want any slush. I'm gonna be smart and try to find that extra burrito I had. And there it is, frozen. See if I can warm this up. Not really hungry, but be smart if I can eat it up. Have to watch that. Don't want it to get too hot. I got myself 3 16, 17 inchers, or I think 2, I'm going to say 16, 1 17. I caught one and let one go 17, and then about, I don't know, at least a half dozen those kind of 11, 12 inches. So overall, I didn't fish, you know, have to work too hard fishing. So usually if you come back this far, the fishing's pretty easy. I would like to get one of those 4-year-old fish, because I think these 16, 17-year-old fish are only 2-year-old fish. So those are big for that size, and I'll take those fish any day. The brook trout, amazing. Really one of the top 5 things you can find out in the wild here in this region. I'm going to put it on top of some of the top 10 or 20 fish in the world. It is that good. So that's why I do it. And just the fresh air. And really not that hard. Guess a little lesson on the Whisper Light stove. I've been leisurely boiling water pretty much as I go. This stove, once you get used to it, it's real easy to light. You have to make sure this seal's real tight. This is lubed up. It never really felt like it got enough pressure in there, but I guess this stove's been very reliable and working. So I got it all frosted up, got it oiled up when it was cold. Really the time you don't want to do that. And it's been a good stove. So I did drop this fuel bottle. My gloves were icy. You can see that's icy. It was open, tipped over, got all over my bag, which I hope to remember, and hopefully it evaporates. But these things are safe. I started that fire. I didn't have to use anything like this. I really urge you not to use white gas. This stuff is really flammable. Just bring a couple pieces of equipment. pot to boil water and a little matching skillet. Ice is a killer on skis, on sleds. Another good reason to have skis. And another good reason to have your stuff tied down really well. I do not want to have to be wrestling with these sleds on portages. Be a real energy drain. So Bangshik Lake, pretty loaded with brook trout. Just wonderful trip, camping A+. I guess I'm ready to boogie out of here.